Hey everyone, I'm AC from the AC Show. Uh, I wanted to make this video to really send it up to an internet friend that we'd have never really spoken, but I figured we'd be friends if we weren't met in real life. Diversity in Comics, along with other great comic book commentators on YouTube like Captain Cummins and uh, her name's Paladin something with an A. She's cool. And then also Appabend and others, but those are the ones in particular. But yeah, I really enjoy watching comic book reviews on YouTube, and there's a bit of drama nowadays with some of the political correctness of our times bleeding into comic books, and that's pretty upsetting. I don't like that very much, and I agree with a lot of the criticisms of Marvel mostly nowadays. In fact, just as a quick um, comment, I was reading Miles Morales for a very long time, but they just kept injecting social issues that they think are more important than telling a great story, and it got to the point where I had to stop reading Miles. I just couldn't do it anymore, and it was pretty sad. Well, anyways, I was contacting Diversity in Comics on YouTube a couple times, and I asked him, hey, you should look at Aliens Dead Orbit from James Stokoe. He's doing a great job right now. And I don't think he's really responded, so I figured, well, what's stopping me from making my own little quick YouTube? It only takes the time to put the camera up. So the first 3 episodes or issues are out now, and I think it's only a 4-issue arc. I don't know if they're gonna like renew it or anything, but it's really sad that it only has 4 issues because the content is just really high. It's really the artist here, James Stokoe. He does a great job, and I believe that he does. Let's see here, story, art, and lettering. Yeah, so he does the story, art, and lettering, which is really phenomenal, considering that most comic books nowadays will usually take 3 or 4 people to really create every month. But this guy is doing 1 issue a month, to my knowledge, and he's doing it all by himself. He has other people helping him, like, let's see here, publisher, editor, assistant editor, and so on. But he's doing the story, the art, and lettering, which is really, really cool. So that means he's doing the penciling, that means he's doing the coloring, that means he's filling in all, he literally writes in all the words. He's not typing the words in, which is really, it doesn't happen nowadays. So anyways, I figured here you go, I'll just give you a quick look at the front cover and a couple of the pages so you can kind of see that comic books are alive and well if you know where to look. So this is the front cover here, and you have to forgive me for the glare. I don't have professional studio or anything like that. This is just my office. But yeah, it just really is it's a great alien story. And this is the issue 1 here. You can just see, try to get good visuals for you. And one of the things I really like about his artistry is that, as you can tell from here, he has a very high attention to detail. Very high attention to detail. And when you look at some of these images of the ship that he's working on, like here, look at this space station unit that he drew out. It's just really high detail. Really high detail. And the whole comic is like that. Very often when you're looking at different comics, you'll see the artist will have to quickly draw an action scene and then make a lot of blurred images so that they can emphasize. There you go, here's this part here. Look at all the little details in the background. And they'll make an action scene where they'll draw out the action of, the power coming out of Iron Man's hand, or whatever, lightning bolts and so on. And they'll blur out the background so that they can really spend a lot of detail on the foreground. But what's so neat about James Stokoe is he gives so much detail not only to what's in the foreground, but he puts a lot of detail into the background. And it looks like every page has to take at least 2 or 3 hours to put in. I'm not an artist, and I don't honestly know how long these things work or take. Like, here's another great example of the ship. You can see there's just no filler. That's the thing that was it's most shocking about this artist. There's just no filler. So, and also one of the cool things too is right here, Stokoe, he really knows how to use a splash page. The last page here, you get to see the alien after the anticipation throughout the whole book, and you can just look at the level of detail on that cloud, that puff of smoke coming out of the ship. Just incredible. Really well done. And I'll show you, if you don't mind, briefly the other two issues that I've got. Yeah, so his covers are all great. I really like the first cover and the third cover. This is the number 2, which is also good, but I like 1 and 3 really the most so far. And he has done other work for another comic, I think, called Orc Blood. It might be his own creation too. I don't honestly know. But here we go. Here's a chest burster scene that's pretty cool. Just like in the movies, the action picks up when the alien pops out of the guy's chest. So, show you it right here. It's right here. Here we go. There you go. Look at that. That's cool. And then, yeah, he really, I think he understands how to use like a full display page like this. So here's a great action page, and you can just see how highly detailed, and obviously it's a bit gory too, which is always nice. Highly detailed. You can see the blood like splatter on the alien's forehead and all that, and then it's obviously a great whole double spread right there. Really cool. So very cool. Yeah, and one last thing is worth mentioning is really here's the cover for issue 3. You can see that. And sorry, forgive me for the glare from the light behind you, but look, here's one last thing, and I'll make my last comment, let you go about your day. But here's the spread here, and it's just unbelievable how much detail he puts into his work. This looks like this. I mean, I don't know how to judge how long this takes, but it just looks so good when you can see it in real life. So anyways, yeah, and what my major point though, I suppose, is that while Marvel and other companies might want to inject social politics into comics to try to prove a point, at least with Dark Horse Comics, with this Aliens Dead Orbit, there's just no political issues of the day going on in this story. It's just an awesome Alien story. And if you're an Aliens fan, you really should do something for yourself and buy this, because you will not be ashamed of what you're getting. It's just phenomenal. So that's my highest anticipated comic that I'm reading right now. I am reading Batman, the casting, which is also like a version of Batman. It's a new story that's coming out. And I also read Doom Patrol, which is also a DC thing. So really, I'm only reading Dark Horse and DC. I stopped reading Marvel about 8-9 months ago. I stopped reading. I was reading the Hulk for a while, and I got disinterested. I read through Civil War 2. Read through Secret War, and then I was reading Miles Morales because I just wanted to. I love Spider-Man. Who doesn't? But they just kept pushing political issues with Miles, and it got to the point where I didn't feel like it was worth it. And also there was the Kissing in a Tree series that was like 6 issues long with Gwenpool, or whoever it was, and the story went nowhere. It was really boring. So I was sadly, I just didn't. I had to say goodbye to Miles. It was getting to the point where I was like, every issue they were pushing some agenda on me as if I hadn't known about some particular issue that was going on today. So it's just upsetting, but so far, all things being equal in my experience, this is a wonderful book. You should check it out and talk more about, like, I know Diversity in Comics, you're saying how you want to talk about some of the better things that are going on today and not harp on the bad so much. Well, this is a great one to comment on if you have the time. So thanks for listening. Thanks for making me happy by just watching the video if you did. And leave a comment if you're interested in more comic book stuff on my channel. Thanks again, and see you around.